In 2016, a former Virgin Australia baggage handler from Melbourne, Australia, made unauthorized radio calls to multiple different planes, causing absolute chaos in the skies. You're not going to believe this. Over the course of just 3 days, Paul Sant used a radio transmitter to impersonate air traffic controllers and pilots. On October 25th, Paul instructed Virgin Flight 1371 from Launceston to Melbourne to abort takeoff while they were actually landing. He then instructed Jetstar Flight 477 from Newcastle to Melbourne and Qantas Flight 443 from Sydney to Melbourne to perform a go-around. And shockingly, a few days later on October 27th, Virgin Flight 740 from Gold Coast to Melbourne actually followed Paul Sant's instructions and performed the false go-around order, which got them dangerously close, just 1.8 nautical miles to Jetstar Flight 470, which actually made this a violation of safe separation limits. Now, each time this happened, air traffic control had to intervene in order to prevent disaster, but the worst was actually yet to come. That evening on October 27th at 7:30 p.m, Sant faked a Mayday distress call pretending to be a pilot of a light aircraft, but luckily air traffic control caught on when no plane was actually popping up on their radar. Sant, just 19 years old at the time, was sentenced to 2 years in jail. However, his term was suspended and instead he was placed on a strict release order, including mandatory mental health treatment. The court acknowledged his troubled upbringing and Asperger's disease, but the judge didn't hold back in condemning his actions, saying, "You may have thought it was funny or silly, but the potential for serious and significant harm was very real." Interestingly, Sant claimed to have thrown his illegal radio transmitter into a lake, but when the police drained the area, they found nothing. And to this day, the device has never been recovered. This bizarre case reminds us of how crucial aviation security really is. A few unauthorized words over a radio transmitter could have caused absolute chaos in the sky over Melbourne. And being an employee at Melbourne Airport myself, you might be surprised how easy it actually is to get your hands on one of those radio transmitters. And there's not much stopping you from talking to the pilot or the tower if you really wanted. But what do you think? Should Sant face a harsher sentence? Let me know in the comments below.